What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be exploring, as you can see by the title, TikTok, the ban that never happened. So we got a few videos here today that we're going to be just looking over and giving our thoughts on this TikTok ban. I know it happened a couple days ago, and obviously now it's done. We just got done with work and everything for the week, so we kind of came in and wanted to give our thoughts and just statements on what this whole thing was about. But we're gonna hop right in here. Let me just put that to that. We're actually gonna start out with our boy here, and we're gonna see exactly what they say, and I will give you guys my reaction. Before we do, though, please, if you can, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you can. I'd love to hear your comments and what you guys have to say about these videos and the ban that, to me, never happened since it was only like a couple hours. So, without further ado, let's hop right in.
No idea what I'm supposed to do. I mean, I use the internet. I use TikTok. This app. I've based my whole life around this entire 3.6 million people I've acquired on this platform, and now you're just gonna take it away like it's nothing. What are we supposed to do, bro? How am I supposed to survive or pay bills or give money to my family or do all the stuff that I was going to do before just because you want to take an app away? Like, I don't understand what you think we're supposed to do. Like, I want to.
Okay, so real quick, my thoughts on that. Let's be very clear on where I stand on this issue. So for me personally, I feel like the whole thing with obtaining any type of currency through media, it's a nice deal, right? But we all have to understand that, like, whether it's because so many people start doing it that the internet can't keep up one day, or whether we don't understand that, like, this whole opportunity to make money on a social media platform comes from being half lucky, half also having something to show. It's something that I just feel like people don't forget that we are not owed. Of course, with my channel and everything, you guys know that I'm obviously not monetized at the moment. We're still growing, but we're trying to get there. But I've always had this feeling that, like, at the end of the day, this is kind of why I see it as a little bit of a backwards thing. Whether we get more restrictions on social media in the future or not, or whether the pay goes down or whatever may happen with it, I just feel like we should and we have a priority to take care of people that have already been working in this country and work an everyday job. I'm not saying they should make the most money depending on the level of the job, but I'm saying, at least in my opinion, I would love to make money from this again. You guys know I'm here, I'm trying to build the channel, but I do think personally anyone that's in an actual legit job on the field doing physical labor should essentially be able to basically make more than someone who's on social media depending on their standing. And even if that standing is great, I don't think that salary should exceed anybody who's actually out there, waking up, enduring weather, dealing with certain situations, just that kind of stuff in general. I think you should definitely be making more than a livable wage. And I get that there's work in TikTok and YouTube too, but at the end of the day, I feel like coming onto the platform before the ban and everything, and obviously voicing your concern is valid, but it just comes from a place of, like, you see how, like, I don't want to say like privileged, but we as Americans are kind of privileged in the fact that we can go online like this freely and speak our minds and then be able to make money off of it. And I just think that that comes with a level of responsibility, and then also you're owed nothing, right? And what I mean by that is, okay, so if they did truly ban TikTok, which obviously it's unbanned for right now, and people basically were left for naught, I think there's just things that people could have done in a way to negate this versus just counting on the money ride that is the internet right now. Um, so if I have to give my opinions, I think things like investing, starting your own business that's outside of social media, anything like that, even if your business starts off of social media, I think you need to make it something that's lucrative that can stand on its 2 feet without the aspect of social media supporting it. There's plenty of people out there that have businesses that rely on billboards, word of mouth, just things like that that are a little bit less on the internet. So I understand his plight, and I definitely understand how bad it feels to almost have what you've worked for taken away from you. But we also have to understand that, like, if the internet at any point is shut down, or like people stop paying on certain social media sites, that's not money they owe you. That's money they've given you in order to make it so their business and their social media site can grow, because you have something that basically is going to draw them to you in order to keep them on your platform, or their platform, sorry. But I think we just all forget this, and while I do feel bad for this guy, I just can't help but think like, okay, but we're not owed money from social media just because we all post on it, you know? So that's just my thing. I definitely am glad it's back so this guy can keep going, and I hope it stays up. But after Trump obviously did the thing with, reinstating it, a lot of people see that as two different ways. But we'll just have to see what happens after they make that deal. But I've yapped long enough. Let's continue with this guy finish.
Thank everybody, the 3.6 million people that have followed me on this app and changed my life and changed the life of me and my family and allowed us to do the things that we've done. I also want to take a second to thank a certain group of people, the people that are in the comments. Like, I don't even know I'm gonna make this video, dude. The people in the comment section that keep saying over and over again, like, what are you gonna do now that social media is going away? Like, aren't you nervous? Are you worried? Because now you're gonna have to go get a real job. Like, I don't understand how you could be so just like, don't have any feelings, bro. Like,
well, let's back that up for a second. There's not that people don't have feelings. You have to understand, and this is the point again where I draw a big like pause moment on this whole subject. Okay, first off, these people are commenting because obviously they're everyday working people. They might not be so lucky on social media, or maybe they're too lazy to put out any kind of videos or content. And I can understand with them a little bit. Not everyone wants to be on social media or have to embark on the adventure of posting online in order to make money. You know what I mean? Some people just want to live their lives, work a good job that they can actually make money from since they're already working that job, and then pretty much be able to go from there and earn a livable wage. But you have to take a step back, in my opinion, especially this guy, and go, okay, you know, I'm making a lot of money. It's not that they're being heartless, but they're kind of at that level where they're like, okay, now you get to see how we feel. And you have to understand that that's a strong message, not just for him and everybody on TikTok, but everybody in the world, or at least in America, that goes, okay, well, I want to make money online, but I can't because people don't come to my content. And like, obviously, that's kind of like my thing right now is like, I'm obviously trying to make videos with you guys and everything. I'm not at that many subscribers. I think I only have 2. So if you're watching this, please subscribe. But we're just trying, man. At the end of the day, not everybody gets lucky in order to have their channel up there and everything. So my whole thing with this is just that, like, he has to understand at some level, people, of course there's rude people on the internet, but people aren't just saying this baselessly. They're people that work their butts off every day and deserve to make as much as someone who posts on TikTok, whether that involves work or not, because both people are working. But again, if you're staying at home and you're recording content and you're making excessive amount of money off that, you have to understand that you are in a way different position than somebody who has to traverse about an hour to their job with a messed up car and is still barely making enough to afford the bills. And I think that is, again, why we need to raise the minimum wage and give people who actually go out there and work in certain fields a livable wage, or at least something that makes it so they can save some money after the fact. But yeah, let's let him continue on.
Who did this to you? Why are you like this? And I want to tell those people, like, from the bottom of my heart, that you can suck it. Fat back, hairy, upper lip stinking. You can all suck it. It's not going anywhere, B.I. It's not going. I had other fucking platforms I was going to be on. It's not going anywhere. What do you think about that, huh? You running your mouth now? You know what I'm going to do with my next TikTok check that I get? I'm going to buy a lifetime supply of razors so your mom can shave her fat back. Miserable, no.
Alright, well, see, now we're just going on ad hominems, and, like, at first it was sincere, whether he's doing this as a joke or not, this is the shit that I mean that's gonna, like, fuel the fire for people to be like, yeah, you gotta go work a normal job now. But it's just things like this that, like, really just get me to not understand why people would get so upset about an app being banned, or at least not understand that they got to ride the wave and that they were lucky and now they can at least take that earnings and put it somewhere else. Or while they have it, because it's back right now, use that money in order to be secure somewhere else, besides online, besides one social media site. But that's just my opinion. We're going to switch gears here and also go to another person. The next one is Homegirl here. She's pretty much talking about like how the government is basically going to force you to work a job because the government wants to buy it and everything. Now, before we start, the only thing I'm going to say about this first off is I think we are completely valid in actually trying to own a part of TikTok. I get everything. Like people are like, oh, they want to buy everything and all that, but you have to understand like it's always owned by somebody. It doesn't matter if it's owned by somebody that's out of the country, so the country you're in can't do certain things to it. It's just the fact that it's owned by someone else, you don't actually own it, and you're making your paycheck through somebody who owns the whole platform, who is most likely making money off of you while you're making money. So the thing about this whole thing that she's about to go on is just that I think like putting in the hysteria of the government needing to own it, which makes it a whole, I guess, argument for her is just not, I think, sensible in the fact that it's like, okay, well, even if America buys it, you have to understand that there's more regulations with how people use it safely versus another country using it, and then you basically have no control. Like, let's say, like, one day TikTok, which is owned by China right now, they want to, just take your information. They just straight up do it, and they just run with it, and they shut the app down. They've got all the information. There's nothing we can do because we don't own any of it. Well, they have all your information now. The app's closed. Your bank accounts are seized. Whatever. But it's just the fact that that's possible, and because of that, we have to understand that that's what makes it so the U.S. actually owning some of it is actually a good part or a good thing. I mean, I get that people don't like a lot of the stuff when people hear the government's going to be owning something, but you have to understand it was already owned by a government. If it's at least owned by us partially too, there's security measures in place not only for the country but for people and their information and their livelihood. So whether she's just extreme because of the fact she doesn't like the government or not, I just think that it's a little bit crazy. But let's see what she has to say.
Why does this TikTok ban feel more like a business deal than it does actually feel like governments actually doing their jobs? I would rather eat glass than go back to my 9 to 5. That's how toxic and disgusting these workplaces are. We are being ravaged and abused by these large corporations, and now they're all going to be sitting at an inauguration. In the short time that I've been making videos on TikTok talking about how toxic 9 to 5 work is in corporate, I have received thousands and thousands of comments from different people that are suffering and they are absolutely miserable, and actually their health is degrading. These workplaces are so bad. And one place of reprieve was TikTok, because people could actually have a little bit of sanity and freedom from these abusive corporations that are destroying this country.
Okay, now I definitely understand what she says there, and it's not like she's not valid in the fact that some workplaces absolutely suck. Not going to argue that point. But I think what she's trying to ride for here is more of the fact that it's like, okay, because TikTok's gone, now everybody's basically just, the world's lost. All is for naught, you know what I mean? But we have to understand, again, what I was saying before is the fact that even if that's the case, the app itself is owned by another government. If you put your bank account information on that app in order to receive payment from them, which I'm pretty sure everyone on that app does, they at any point, even if it's secured, could at least attempt to take all of your information in that bank account, drain it, take it, do whatever. And if the US owns none of that, that money is just gone. And the only thing that we can really do is give them a slap on the wrist and go over to them and be like, hey, you have to give that back. Either that or some kind of war, which would have to lead from the people that are really on it, outraged enough to, go to like some kind of government entity and basically raise the prospect of it. But like those safeguards, again, are just not there if it's just owned by China. And that is a basic fact that you can even know without even having to think about it. And I get that she said it feels more like a business deal. Well, of course it feels like a business deal, because we have to understand that, like, there's just certain things that are on the internet that if the US at least doesn't have some control over, then they're just going to keep being allowed, and no one's going to be able to, like, do certain things. Like, an example is, like, if a minor keeps posting online and you have a bunch of people that, are obviously really creepy, and they go watch this minor and they just keep doing it, even if that child is famous on that app, they can keep posting whatever, and these creeps can keep watching that content without any kind of, stop hold. And I think that's just really messed up. So I get what she's riding for, and I get she really has a good heart, and coming from the fact that she wants people to basically be able to live out their lives through TikTok once they come home from their shitty 9 to 5. Completely understandable. But it's just, I feel like there's an agenda here with the political side of it versus the outrage of TikTok being gone. And again, I think like her saying, I'd rather eat glass than work a 9 to 5. It's like, well, okay, but you have to understand people do work 9 to 5s. And even if you would rather eat glass, so would a lot of other people, but they don't get the opportunity to make money on a platform like you do just because, you know, maybe they got lucky or maybe they don't have something specific or maybe they just don't even want to be on social media. Again, like it's just such a, I think, privileged position that we come from where we're like trying to make our point seem like it's valid because we're writing for other people while disguising under the umbrella of like, okay, hey, I'm making a lot of money on this app. I don't want it to be banned because if it's banned, then I lose a lot of my money. And even though a lot of people don't make the same amount I do because I got lucky on this app, now it's like, what the heck? I'm entitled to that money because I was making it and I was doing it. You know what I mean? It's all I. And even if she's talking for other people, the underlying issue is just, again, this topic of this video is the TikTok ban, right? Because of that, it's like, okay, well, it's not even banned anymore, and now everybody's basically just, you know, basically back to their old ways, but everybody kind of got caught with their hands in the cookie jar because basically, like, you know, now it's unbanned. So I just feel like this chick, like, she's not wrong, but at the same time, I think she's riding for a whole different case than just a TikTok ban. And while it is, you know, riding for other people, again, I'm not going to be a broken record here. It is also like she's basically just calling out corporations, which, trust me, corporations, a lot of them suck, right? But like you're putting one like topic in front of the other, so you can make the thing you're saying seem more valid. And I think that in itself is not only selfish, but just like it's just like, you know, it's a temper tantrum, right? Or however you say it. But either way, I just don't agree with what she's saying in most cases. I mean, I get it, but it's also the fact that you have to understand that if the government chooses to ban any app, that money and that app was never yours to begin with. It's just the fact that if they make a deal to at least have some of it, now at least it's protected in some ways and they won't ban it. So
taking TikTok is a deliberate move to silence us, to tie our hands behind our backs, and to strip any options for us so that we have to be servants to these corporations.
Okay, we're gonna leave her there because, see, now the political agenda comes in where it's like, okay, we understand that you're obviously for the side that says that people that work are obviously gonna be corporate servants, and I wouldn't doubt it. You know, I'm even giving you your cake and letting you eat it too. But the thing about it, again, is just the fact that a lot of people, some people want to make good money, but they don't want to do social media. Some people like not going on apps and having to do certain things. So it's not just all about corporations and the fact that, like, TikTok's banned now, like, you know, they'll never have a chance. It's, you know, you were making money on this app and now you're not going to be able to if it would have stayed banned, and that's going to suck for you. But yes, you have to be like every person in this country and pivot and have something to fall back on. And I just, like, I don't know, I just feel like that's definitely something that's just crazy. But we're gonna switch gears here, go to this guy. He definitely had a valid argument from what I heard him saying. But let's just get right into it. I've been yapping.
Just upheld the ban on TikTok, and here's something that nobody is talking about that I would like to share with you. There is 3 branches of the United States federal government: legislative, executive, and judicial. The TikTok ban went almost unanimously through the legislative branch, which is Congress and the Senate. Then it skated right on over to President Biden's desk, executive branch, and he signed it into law. Then the ban went all the way through the court system, all the way up to the highest court in the land of the United States of America, the Supreme Court, and they upheld the ban. Now, I agree, it is damn sad that 7 million people just got laid off. I'm sad for myself, I'm sad for future creators, and I'm sad for the millions of small businesses out there who rely on this app to make a living. But the saddest part of this entire fucking thing is that the United States government just looked its people square in the fucking face, right in the eyeballs, and said, your voice doesn't matter, and it never fucking did. They sell you the American dream. They sell you the freedoms that you think you fucking have, and then they turn around, they strip you from them, and they said there's not a fucking thing that you can do about it. Fascist countries ban apps. And for all the fucking people who are about to hop on here and say, if you don't like it, move, fuck you. I love this country, and I love the people in it. And that's why I'm fighting so fucking hard to keep this motherfucker free. In 2 years, vote your fucking ass off. Democracy and the American dream has just fallen. it's up to you and me to take it fucking back.
Okay, well, that was intense. Again, like, I agree with some of what he said there. I know it was a little bit intense for you, watching and everything. But just know I had to play that one because I feel like he's not wrong, but, like, half of it is still the fact that, like, it's just the entitlement again. Like, if people can't look at themselves, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok or whatever app you use, right? And you go, okay, I'm making this money on this app, and somebody else has now taken it away because of certain things they feel are the thing that they need to do or whatever, right? This is why, like, we have in my opinion, I call it like a conundrum of you have like an app which you can make a lot of money on, and people now do, and obviously they feel entitled to that to the point where, obviously, people made all these videos complaining. And yeah, maybe there's other instances where like people take stuff away from you and it feels wrong, and obviously that can happen and that's not right. But it's just a one versus the other situation, which even I'm battling with at present moment because of what he said. Where it's like, okay, yes, TikTok was banned, and we get it that, like, he's like, oh, they take it, they sell you, and then they strip you from it. But in my opinion, again, to all the people out there that are making money on social media, and to all the people that have started their own business, and to all the people that work a 9 to 5, whether it be McDonald's or whatever you do, right? You have to understand something, that when you work anywhere and some company or the government that gets involved with that company chooses to do whatever action they may do with that company and it affects your livelihood, you have to understand that's why staying fluent and always having a backup and more than one source of income is volatile. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, right now, like, I obviously only have one because I work my job, right? That's why I'm on here with you guys on YouTube trying to develop another one while also being able to interact with you guys, have fun, and talk about these subjects. But it's just the fact that, like, and at no point am I owed anything by anyone to the point where it's like, okay, somebody has to cover me in order for me to sustain myself. I just feel like there's such a sense of entitlement here that, like, it's not that he's even wrong. I just think that we all are so blinded by the fact that we've been given this opportunity and that it's just ours because we've made it ours, and now it's just supposed to stay ours. Like, whether you guys think that's right or not, let me know in the comments, but I just feel that way. And I'm not even going to digress on it anymore. Let's switch gears here on something a little bit more funny. This guy's saying, me arriving in China after TikTok gets banned so I can keep my TikTok. Let's go back here. Okay. So just a little bit of some funniness there, just something to switch up gears. It's kind of funny to me that people would even think about going to China just so they can keep their TikTok, but I wouldn't blame them if obviously they're able to go over there and still use the app itself. So, let's go to this guy, actually. This guy brought up a good point here where he was actually talking about the prediction as to what would happen with TikTok. And he got it spot on because it happened 4 days ago. But literally, this guy was actually on the money with what happened, which is wild to see. But let's take a look.
Going nowhere. It's going dark on Sunday, just long enough to freak people out, and then on Monday, right after being inaugurated, Trump is going to sign an executive order stopping the ban. So that way he can take all the credit for being the savior of tens of millions of influencers and small businesses and people who make a living off this app. Point blank, period. That's what's getting ready to happen. So fret not. If I'm wrong, though, follow me on all socials and subscribe to my YouTube because I have some surprises coming. Thank you to everybody who has followed my content over the years, and even if you haven't, now's a real good time to get into it. But mark these words, y'all, and I will see you very soon. TikTok.
And he wasn't wrong, honestly. He was not wrong, you guys. To be honest with you, it's just the fact that he actually did end up coming back and, pretty much, unbanning TikTok. Whether he did it for the credit of it or not, I think the thing that I can say I agree with it is just the fact that if it's done as a deal, I agree with that aspect in order to keep it safe and secure for everybody in the United States. And you have to understand this. Whether you make money on the app or not, the deal for the U.S., which if China will definitely do this, which I think they will, because obviously they want to keep their income flowing, everybody wants to keep their income flowing, and whether you like the guy or not, it's just the fact that if this deal is truly done in the U.S., we can at least see some level of, okay, we know that this app is secure now, you can make money on it, whether you can't say certain things on it, which you will be able to, because, I've heard that they're all for free speech. I'm not going to go into the politics of it here, but, like, either way, the app is here to stay, right? And if the app is here to stay and you are able to uphold your source of income, whether that be on TikTok or whatever, right? It's here to stay. And I think that that's a good thing for most people in the fact that it's like that. And that's why at the end of the day, whether he wants to take credit for it or not, whether people buy into it or not, it's just the fact that if the deal is completed and the app is able to be kept here in the US, that should be good news for everybody. And I think anybody and everybody should have no plights with that. But yeah, that was just my whole thing with this video. It's just crazy how accurate he was when it came to actually predicting what was going to happen here. And these last two videos, we're actually going to switch gears here. These ones are pretty funny, at least what I thought are kind of pretty funny because of the fact that it's a little bit of like, okay, it was only gone for like not even 24 hours. And literally now it's back to the point where like, okay, now obviously people are like, oh shit, I can use it again. They're all excited whether they give whether they give Trump credit or not. I had a moment there where the app is back or not. Let's just see what these videos entail. Okay, so obviously you can see we're gonna switch gears here. Let's play it out.
So let me get this right. You're gone for like 12 hours and now you're just back? Yep. We all said goodbye. Oh, I saw that. I cried. So many did. What about Red Note? Come on, you are aware you made us look kind of stupid, right? I believe you did that to yourself. What about all the videos where we exposed ourselves? They're still there. Right, cool. Any more questions? Nope, I think that's all. So, let me get...
Okay, so obviously that was actually hilarious. I think it was pretty funny to see that this app came back so fast and everyone was literally just like, okay, like it was just like everyone just freaked out, everyone had this moment of like, it can't have nothing no more and all this stuff and, like just stuff like this, like, you know what I mean, just freaking out. But at the end of the day, we obviously saw that it came back. That's why like the title of the video is the TikTok ban that never happened, because it basically never did. And it just also really, to me, showed that a lot of people, whether it's in, good pretense or not, just like there's a entitlement that you can just see from people online who do make money, that obviously it's like, okay, I've done all this, I have my following, I have whatever they've built up. And I get it, you know what I mean? It's what you built up, it's your platform, you worked hard to get it there, you've had to take the time, make the videos, do all that, right? There's no qualms in the fact that you should be given what you've worked for. But it's just, on the other end of it too, it just showed a lot to me of entitlement and the fact that people were like, no, this is mine, I'm owed it, I like as if they made the app, right? But I've just always had this suspicion, and this was just a mini example of it, where when you're on social media, you have to understand that at any moment, no matter if it's the company's decision or the government's decision, you are not truly owed that money only because you are in a contract with that site for as long as you make content and as long as the rules as to which you get paid by are kept that way. So if someone like even Mr. Beast, if YouTube cut off payments and just basically made it so you got paid like 1 cent a video versus any viewership or subscribers or anything, he would get a lot of money still, probably, depending on how many videos he has. But would it be as much as like the rules that they have now due to subscribers and viewer count and watch time and all that? Probably not. So that's what I'm saying about how like my whole thing with it was just seeing the entitlement and then people not understanding that no matter how much you go on a site to make money, you are truly not owed it, and nobody has to give it to you. They could pull the plug on you one day if they really wanted to, doesn't matter for what reason or how. And that's why I also believe that, like, as someone that works a regular job, that the staple and the actual way you should be able to accumulate wealth in this country like it used to be is if you work a normal job, if you work somewhere that has a physical labor behind it, if you work somewhere that's in a specific field, you should be making money with a guarantee behind it and be put first because you are helping this economy truly grow versus, like, you may give someone inspiration on a video or some kind of entertainment, but at the end of the day, we have to understand that unless it's a educational or a tutorial video, 9 out of 10 times, sorry, I don't know why I said 9 out of 5, 9 out of 10 times, that video is just there to basically keep you on the app. But that's my whole thing, and that's why I think at the end of the day, people that actually work physical jobs should have more of a security / income that supplements their lifestyle versus someone that goes on social media. I said this in a past video, but I think all social media, whether you have a lot of subscribers or not, should be making anywhere from like 100 to maybe 150K max, depending on your viewer subscriber count. A person that works a regular job should be guaranteed a minimum anywhere from 60 to, I'd say, damn near almost 200K, depending on what job you work, minimum. You know what I mean? And that's because they're out there working every day. They're out there going to the job they don't like. They're out there giving up their resources in order to get somewhere. They're out there actually working a job that basically barely pays the bills. They're out there actually trying to get a better job while possibly even going to school. And if you're just on your phone and you're making videos, yes, I'm doing that right now with you guys, but that doesn't entitle me to have more money than you guys at the end of the day. Would I love to earn money from this on top of my job? Of course, I've said it before. But I just feel like we have it so backwards in this country where it's like, if you do this, you can make essentially more money than somebody who goes out there and does that. So I don't know. That's just my thing. That doesn't mean I don't want you guys to subscribe, comment, or like. Of course, we got to play the game here on YouTube in order to grow the channel. But we're just going at it day by day, man. We're just making videos, and you know, if you guys fuck with your boy, please just give it a like, comment, or subscribe again. But this is the last one. We're gonna end on a high note here. I think this was pretty funny because it really shows the illustration in a 7-second video of how everything really went. But let's play it.
Can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
That's literally how it was. Holy shit. So, again, guys, that's pretty much all the content I have for you here today. Didn't want to make the video too long or anything. It's just the fact that because of this whole ban that happened recently and it not happening, I at least wanted to give you guys my thoughts and my view on it. It's something that I think is a little bit silly, but at the same time, I also understand everybody's, like, you know, very strong feelings about it. But I think strong feelings obviously have to be spectated and given perspective on for those who might watch this and, you know, want to, like, whether you feel the same or whether you had a different viewpoint on the topic yourself. I think it's good to have people that have different viewpoints of a situation come in and discuss what they actually feel the situation was like to them. So that's why I gave you guys my perspective. If you're messing with it, you already know what to do. I'm not going to say it again because obviously we've said it about a couple times on this channel. But guys, that is all for today. I will be making another video soon and more for you guys, especially on my days off. And yeah, hope you all have a wonderful day and see ya.